Hey guys, my craft money coach, Mike here. Hope you're doing well. I want to show you how I turned $10,000 into $500,000 in 9 years without risky investing, without crypto, without having to be in the market every single day. All right. So if you're looking to build wealth, do it better than most financial advisors can do it, but do it safely and predictably. Watch this. This is for you. Okay. So I'm going to dive in here. I'm going to share my screen. I do apologize. I have a bit of a cold. So you might hear me sniffle once or twice, but that's okay. Let me share my screen here and I'm going to show you. Um, here we go. Okay. Give me one. There we go. Okay. Try and get my whole screen here for you guys. And there we go. We'll do that. Okay. So this is one of my favorite ETFs. Okay. It's one of my favorite ETFs here. Okay, so this is one of my favorite ETFs. It's one of the ETFs that when the markets are moving in the right direction, it will like double, triple, quadruple the returns of the market. It's a really cool one. And I've put a system together that allows me know when to get in, when to get out, when to wait, when to add the lion's share of my money. And it's really simple. I've got three lines here. We call these moving averages. And if you don't know what they are, that's totally cool. Don't worry about that. I teach this with those we invest with. And the moving averages just kind of give me a visual idea of when to be in and when to be out. So, for example, in, out, in, out. Okay, it's that simple, and they really kind of rotate every couple of years. This isn't something where I have to watch this daily. It's really every couple of years I'm looking into this. And so, let me show you guys here. I'm going to go back to 2016. Okay, now I started investing well before 2016, but 2016 was when the experiment really kind of started here. And we have this signal to get in. I'm just gonna have to zoom in here. It's moved up so much that I've got to zoom in to show you guys here. So we have this nice little signal to get in. You know what? Let me go to 2015 because that'll be 10 years. As I'm recording this, that'll be 10 years ago. So um, we'll do 2015. And I'm going to use AI as well to do all my calculations. I'm not going to pull up my financial calculator. AI is going to do my calculations for me so you can do the exact same thing with your investing. So if you got in about 2015, right there, I'll be honest, there wasn't much of a crossover. So yeah, it was about 20% by the time we crossed over. It wasn't much. Some people go, it did start. And so let me go over to 2016 here. Okay, let's just say, look, the crossover happened right there. Okay, that's a little crossover. So we got in somewhere around that time frame, and we took it all the way up to about right there, because that's when the crossovers came over to the downside. So we made about 216% from 2016 to 2018. Okay, so that's 2 years. So I'm going to go over to um, right here, and you can see I did some calculations earlier, but let's do this here. If I invested 10K and made a 216% return. Now that's simple math. We all know that. What do I now have? Okay, and the math is pretty simple. 31,600 bucks. That's easy to figure out. Okay, cool. And then what would happen is I would move my money out of the market when I get the crossover to the bottom, and I would just wait. What do I wait for? I wait for the crossover to the top. And some people will argue and say, "Well, Mike, you didn't get the very bottom. You didn't get the bottom. That's okay. My investing plan does not need me to get every single bottom to do well and to become wealthy. In fact, my investment plan requires me to wait for momentum. And then once momentum happens, to put the lion's share of my money in the market, and that's where you can carry on some big returns. So I would have waited. 2018 happened. We had this nice little pullback into 2019. We got back up right here. All right, I would have got back in there. And we had a couple years where we went up, well, not a couple years. We had about a year where we went up, and that's 124%. But COVID happened and it shot the market down super fast. This was a really fast drop. And so again, the crossovers happened. I was only up 44.56%. I didn't get the full 100. Again, my investment plan doesn't require me getting the very bottoms and the very out of the, getting in at the very bottoms and getting out at the very tops. My investment plan does not require that. So I just wait. Oh, the crossover happened. Okay. I got out at 46.14%. And the reason why I don't get the very bottoms or the very tops is we never know their bottoms or tops until we look into the past. In the moment, we have no idea we're at a top. I mean, there's some signals you can look at that could maybe help say, hey, we're getting near a top. But until my confirmations happen, I really don't know. My confirmations happened right there. So we made about 45 ish, almost 46%. So, okay, let me do this now. Add 45.55%. Okay, let's see what happens there. All right, that brings me to $45,993. And then COVID happened, and we had this huge pullback, almost a 40% pullback. In fact, it was bigger than that for this ETF. This ETF pulled back 72%, but thankfully I didn't get there. I only pulled back about 30% from my tops. Okay, and then we got back into momentum right about there. And let me just scroll this down a bit now that we're getting back over here, and we went all the way up. Oh my gosh, a 375% return. That's huge. Again, we didn't know we were at the top there, and we fell over, and my signal said, here, let's get out. That's still a 252%, 0.82% return. Okay, so let me do this now. Add a two, was that 82 or 52? 252.822, 52.882% return. Oops, I spelled return wrong, but Chat GPT, or in this case, Claude, knows what I was trying to ask. Okay, and that took my 45,000 and turned it into 162,000. Remember, I've only invested $10,000. I've added no other money. $10,000 is now turned into 162, $276,000. What? I like that. Okay, let's come back here. 22 pullback happened, big recession, war, inflation, all that stuff came and it dropped us down huge. I was out for most of it because, again, I just followed my system. And then boom, we came back over here. Now, I will be honest with this one. We started to get in down here. Right around October, actually. So right about here is where we started to add money back into the market because I had some signals telling me we were kind of at the end of the bear market and we're going back into a bull. So I did get in earlier than my system said to get in, but let's just play it by the rules and let's just say we got in here. By this time, we were all in. By this time, the market was feeling good again and we were in a bull market. Okay, so I got in there. You know, again, I didn't know this was the top. And to be honest, I did feel like we were kind of getting toppy. The market did feel really what I call frothy. And so I did start taking profits near the top here. But again, following the system, by the time we hit here, which was in March, we were out. That's 182.32% return. Okay, I'm going to just go now, add a 132.82% return. And that brings us to $377,784,000. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that's why. Did I do that right? Hold on here. I did the return wrong. I was like, those numbers don't seem right. Oops, I made a mistake. The return was actually 182. Let me just double check that. 181.32. 181.32%. Please recalculate. There we go. There we go. Okay, not quite half a million, but really close. I mean, we're like $44,000 away from hitting the $500,000 mark, and I guarantee when we get into our next upswing, and the signals do verify, we will be hitting that half a mil, if not more, really fast. Okay, so check this out. We are not done. So, um, can you now calculate um, the year over year? Calculate, I spelled that wrong. That's okay. Chat GPT Claude will fix all my spelling errors. Okay. Calculate the year over year return. Um, these returns happened over 9 years. Right? Started in 2016. We're currently in 2025. And so that would be a 53. Annualized return was about 53% compound over 9 years. That resulted in turning $10,000 into $456,000. Now, the cool thing is you don't have to do 10. You might have 20. If you had 20, you'd be almost a millionaire today. If you had 25, you'd definitely be a millionaire. If you had 100, you'd be a decamillionaire today. If you had zero, what would that look like? Well, let's go over here to my, and one of my favorite tools, investment calculator. We're going to run this from 1 to 10. That represents 9 years. Okay, starting with nothing. If you only had, let's call it, maybe you had 200 bucks a month. Check this out, $200 a month with a 53% return. Whoa, look at that. $477,000. Now, here's the big difference, even though your numbers are similar to mine, right? Because I'm at $10,000 turned into 456. Okay, so you're like, well, Mike, I'm actually higher than you. Whoa, I did better than you. Well, the difference is you've had to put double the money in. I only put 10K in. You've had to contribute $21,600. So more than double the money to get pretty much the same kind of return I got, right? So that's the difference when you go monthly. But hey, maybe you've got more money to do monthly than maybe you don't have a whole chunk. Maybe you don't have like a 10,000 or 20 or $30,000. Maybe you're like, I got 350 bucks a month. Well, at 53% return, that's almost $1 million in 9 years. All right, using this method. Okay, this is super simple. Again, super simple method. It's A, it doesn't take you being in daily. B, it lasts a while once we get in, out. Okay, in, out. Okay, in, out. All right. Let's see here. We would have got in on this one. This one would have gotten way down here. And this one would have held for a while, actually. That was 2016. And we were out, 2018. That was about 2 years. Yeah. So you can see here, it's a lot of times it's about 2 years we hold, we get in, we hold for. And then we get out when things kind of go frothy or sideways for a bit. All right. But yeah, that's it. That's the strategy. So, that's how simple it is. That's how you can turn 10K into $500,000 in 9 years. Now, what will the next 9 years look like? Who knows? I can't predict the future, but here's what I do know. The stock market's been around for a couple hundred years. Okay. It has continued to go up and to the right. Yes, we got these pullbacks, and yes, the market drops and all that stuff. That's part of the normal nature of the market. This is why we have little tools and systems in place so that we don't have to take on the whole drop. Okay. So if you're interested in learning this, if you're interested in like learning those moving averages and when to get in and when to get out and when to hold, when to wait, all of that stuff, come join the Generation Wealth Investment Club. This is what we teach you guys every single week. Plus, we give you stock picks. Every stock pick we choose has outperformed the market long term. So every stock pick we have has beaten the stock market long term. Now, have they all done 50% year over year? No. Most have done 20, some have done 30, that type of stuff here. And then we've got the few occasional ones that are doing 50%. Okay, but this is the stuff that you're probably not going to learn with your financial advisor. You're probably not going to learn this with the bank. You're not going to learn this in school, but you can learn this by joining the Generation Wealth Investment Club. So if you are interested, what I'll do here is I'm going to link a yeah, I'll put a link below that you can click on to hop on a call with us, or you can just head over to moneycoachmike.com/call. When you hop on a call with us, just make sure you tell us that you watched the investing video, so we know that you want to do the investing stuff. Okay, and if you tell us you've done the investing video, we'll hop on a call together and we'll dive into what you're currently investing in, if you are, or if you're a complete newbie and want to get started, we'll dive into that as well. We can take a look at where we can get you going long term. All right. So moneycoachmike.com/call. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.